Hello and welcome back to the Icons of Sin. It's been an extra week. Chris, how are you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing much better now, thank you. And
Well, that's good.
sorry to the listeners for pushing it back a week.
Oh, don't be
but
silly,
we're
man.
back.
Don't be silly. I'm glad it wasn't, the virus. The virus. Yeah.
Nah, just the flu.
Just flu. Yeah, it's not mutually exclusive. Other viruses are around. But so I mean,
Other viruses are available.
yeah, other viruses are definitely available. So you've been ill for a week. Have you been playing any games, or have you just been recuperating?
I've been playing a lot of Dark Souls 3.
How are you
I'm
getting
now
on?
I'm on my new game plus 3 now.
Okay, how many new games are there? Is +3 the last one?
No, I think you can get up to like 7 or 8.
Jesus. Okay, so you've got a ways to
But
go
I've just
yet.
been, I've been playing the Ringed City DLC, the one I've never been able to do before because it was so hard.
Okay. And you're managing it now.
Yeah. Well, I pretty much tank through everything now.
Okay, fair enough. Well, that's
Yeah.
clearly the way to do it. Have you been playing anything else?
I have, but my mind's gone blank.
Oh, it's that flu brain.
Yeah, Fallout 4, that's what I've been playing. I've been
Oh,
replaying
well.
some of that.
That's convenient. What's the topic of today, Chris?
Today, we're talking about Fallout, hence
We-
the reason I've been replaying Fallout 4 a bit.
We're talking about the Fallout series, all of them, I guess, or all the ones we've played, anyway.
Yes, well, I gather you've played the original ones, haven't you?
Yeah. I've played.
I haven't.
So I haven't played 76. So I haven't played Brotherhood of Steel either. But I haven't played 76, so you can tell me all about 76 when we get there. I guess I'll just quickly catch up to where you are, because you come in like Fallout 3, right?
Yeah, Fallout 3.
Okay, so I'll just I guess if we start at the start and then we'll get to Fallout 3. But yeah, so
Tell me about the original.
tell you about the originals. Well, I guess ultimately Fallout began with Wasteland back in 1988 for Commodore 64 is where I played it. I think it was on the Apple II, things
I
like
had no
that.
idea it was that old.
Yeah, very old. Wasteland 1 was. They made a sequel in like 2000 and I want to say 12, 13, 14, somewhere around there. They made a sequel to Wasteland, Wasteland 2, and then they've made Wasteland 3 recently. But the original Wasteland was Brian Fargo back in 1988, and it was basically set in the future of 2087, and it's like I think it's like 100 years after a global nuclear war, and you're basically you have a team of people, and you form the Desert Rangers. So you're based in the southwest of the United States, and basically you're like peacekeeping the ruined wastelands of America, thus the name Wasteland. But it was like party based, so it's not like individual character as you would get to with Fallout. And then obviously, so then in 1997, they were kicking around an idea for a game. I think at first it was going to be alien based. They weren't quite sure what they were going to do with it. Ended up becoming what we know as Fallout. Obviously by then Brian Fargo was at Interplay. So it's kind of a spiritual successor to Wasteland, the Fallout series. And
was Wasteland like a top-down game, or was it?
Yes, top down. Yeah,
like 2D top-down.
it's
Oh, right.
2D top down.
So,
it was mostly icons.
Big difference.
Sorry.
So it's very different graphically and visually to Fallout then.
Not original Fallout. Original Fallout was top-down 2D, so it kind of matched
Oh.
that. So it doesn't match what we've got now as Fallout, but back in the day, so Wasteland's top-down and Fallout is top-down. Fallout 1 and 2 are both top-down,
Oh, right.
top-down 2D games. So for people that don't know, what is Fallout about, Chris? It's effectively the same as Wasteland, isn't it? There's been a number of fallout shelters that were built across the United States, called vaults, and then we have a nuclear war, and you play as the survivor. Effectively, you play as a survivor in each of the games, surviving the nuclear wasteland. But yeah, the original Fallout is a 2D game, top-down, turn-based strategy game. And you basically play as a vault dweller, one of the inhabitants of the vaults. And in the original Fallout, it's Vault 13, and your vault has a fault with it. The water chip in the vault is failed, meaning that if you don't get a new one or you don't get it repaired, then the vault will run out of water and all of your vault will die. So you're sent out, the first person to be sent out of the vault in forever. Maybe the first. I think you might be the first, actually. And then you have to go out into the wasteland, and the first mission, your primary mission is to find the water chip, but it leads on to other things. We end up meeting the Master, which is an interesting character. He basically created mutants, super mutants.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he created super mutants. He created a lot of the mutants that you now see in the Fallout games. I'm pretty sure he also created super mutants. I think he did, if I remember rightly. A fantastic game. Originally, it was based on the GURPS RPG system. But they lost the license. So when they lost the license, they decided to come up with the special system, which you now know, obviously. Strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. So it was mostly developed by Tim Kaine in Interplay. And it wasn't a very popular project at the time. I don't think it really had funding. So Tim basically started doing it in his free time. And then other people got involved in the project, seeing how cool it was, and ended up giving a lot of their spare time to do it. So a lot of this game was kind of done for free within Interplay because they just loved the idea. But yeah, I mean, I remember playing Fallout on the demo disc. I got a demo disc back in 1997, probably 6 or 7. Which
I do miss demo discs.
So do I, man. We could do a whole episode on demo discs. Maybe we should do that next time. We could talk about demo discs, like our favorite demo discs. Because this is one. This was one of those demo discs. Every now and again, used to get like what I would call a legendary demo disc, where it's like every game on there is just amazing. And this was one of those. It was like the coolest demo disc. And there was a game on there called Fallout. And for ages, I saw it in the list and I just skipped past it because I was like, Fallout? Like, what? It sounds so childish. Like, I've fallen out with someone? Because at the time I hadn't even considered. And I was like, oh my god!
Yeah, nuclear Fallout.
Nuclear Fallout, and then I realized it was, a successor, a spiritual successor to Wasteland, one of the best C64 games. So I was hooked, and that demo reeled me in to where, I ended up buying Fallout probably in '98, I think, 97, 98, and it was honestly one of the best RPGs I've ever played. The original Fallout is a superb game. It introduces most of the things that you'd see in Fallout 3 and 4 and so on. But things like VATS are in the game. The entire game is turn-based. It's real time for you to run around, but as soon as you get into combat, it's completely turn-based. And obviously the VATS... Yeah. It's a full turn-based combat game. It's kind of inspired a lot by UFO or the XCOM series. I think they were heavily inspired by that.
XCOM.
Well, there you go. So it was inspired by UFO Enemy Unknown, and basically, they went from there and made Fallout from that. So the combat is very much like UFO, except you can't take cover or things like that, as far as I remember. But yeah, it was one of the most adult games I played at the time. It was like some of the things that they deal with in these games was quite shocking at the time.
Grim.
Yeah, I mean, human slavery, rape, drugs, drug usage. It's really surprisingly adult themes in these games, but also just a wonderful comedy, dark comedy to the whole thing that I absolutely love. And I think one of the things I really love about Fallout more than anything else is the visuals, that which they've continued wonderfully into the new games. That kind of Fred Wilcox Forbidden Planet kind of look, that 50s vision of the future, you know, with like Robbie the Robot and stuff like that, is basically what we've got. It's like if the future of the 50s, the future that people thought in science fiction in the 50s came true, that's the future of Fallout. And then it got nuked, basically.
Yeah, because they got the weird all the cars are like those weird bubble cars, aren't they? That you see in like the 50s and 60s magazines.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's quite. I do like it. I like the aesthetic. It is quite good. It goes very well.
It's really unique, and I think it sets it apart and makes them really timeless. You know, if they just made it, you know, based on, you know, vehicles from 1997, it would be dated by now and it would feel dated. But because it's got that 50s aesthetic, it's just very different. And yeah, they took a lot of inspiration from movies, obviously. Forbidden Planet was one, A Boy and His Dog, another one based on the novella by Harlan Ellison, which basically is where they get the vaults from. But yeah, tremendous game. Then, of course, in 1998, we had Fallout 2, the best, in my opinion, the best Fallout game made to date. They could still better it, but they haven't yet for me. And basically it's the same engine as the first game, but they just improved on everything. Like they just improved anything that was broken, they fixed. Anything that wasn't broken, they left alone. It's a masterpiece. Fallout 2 from 1998, which takes place 80 years after the events of Fallout. And the coolest thing about Fallout 2 for me is that it's 80 years after Fallout, and it takes place in exactly the same location. So you visit the same places you visited in Fallout 1, but now you see how much they've changed. So like small settlements in Fallout are now bustling cities in Fallout 2 because it's been 80 years and things have progressed. And you know, like the whole region, like politically, has changed. Things have changed. We're introduced to the Enclave in this one, who come up obviously in the future Fallout games.
That's a really clever idea.
It's such a cool idea
for its time. That's very smart. That's very good.
Yeah, it's really cool, and you can, you know, you read, because basically you don't play as a Vault Dweller in Fallout 2. You play as a member of a tribe. Who live out in the wilds, and you're a descendant of the first Vault Dweller, so you're a descendant of the Vault Dweller from Vault 13 in Fallout. You're basically his descendant, and you're going to look for the Garden of Eden creation kit, the Holy Gek, which you're told will save your people. You don't really know what it does, but you're told that's our salvation, we need to find it, so you go out to find it. But yeah, an amazing game. Like I said, it's much the same as Fallout 1, but it's just got really improved in almost every way. It also has a car, which they've never done since. Although Fallout Tactics, I think you got some vehicles. But yeah, you get a car. You can drive a car around the wasteland.
Yeah, that kind of always annoyed me. Like sometimes you'd go into a building and find like a vehicle that's not like blown up or anything, but you could never drive it. That really annoyed me. It's like, come on.
Yeah, so you basically get the Super Pursuit from Mad Max 2 is effectively the car you end up with. It's the only working car in the wasteland. You need to keep it fueled, but basically it allows you to travel across. When you travel across America in Fallout and Fallout 2, it's on a map. And then you get random encounters as you travel across the map. If you're in the car's way faster, so it basically gets you across the wasteland a lot faster from place to place. But I'm really hoping they bring cars back in some way into future Fallout games, because I think it'd be really fun. But yeah, Fallout 2 is probably my favourite of the series. I'm kind of getting through these as quick as possible because I know we've got stuff to talk about when you were introduced to this series. So then we had Brotherhood of Steel, which is Fallout Tactics. And Fallout,
never heard of that one.
Yeah, it wasn't that big. It was really fun in multiplayer, but basically it's basically XCOM. It's XCOM in the Fallout universe. You're working for the Brotherhood of Steel, and you have a team. You've got your team, and you basically go into tactical scenarios where you have to sort of take down super mutants, take down raiders, that kind of stuff. but really fun in multiplayer because you could have teams where you play as like, I'm going to play as super mutants, or I'm going to play as ghouls or death claws or dogs or robots or anything. It's really good fun multiplayer.
Playing as a death claw must be great.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting if nothing else. So yeah, really good fun. But didn't play it so much because I wanted the single player narrative from Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. That was kind of it for me, and I wanted more of that. So I was a bit put off by Tactics. It's fun, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for from Fallout. I know they released a PS2 game called Fallout Brotherhood of Steel in 2004, which is an action RPG. I've never played it. I've seen screenshots. It doesn't look like it's really Fallout for me, so didn't really interest me. But it looks interesting enough. I may pick it up one day just for completion's sake. But yeah, not sure how good that one is. Then in 2000 and 2008 officially, we got Fallout 3, which is where you come in.
This is where I come in.
So this originally started as a top-down 3D RPG, very much in the vein of Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. It started off in Interplay. You can find screenshots and video, and I think you can download part of the game now if you Google it. It's now called Fallout Van Buren. But this was before Interplay sold the rights. So Interplay then sold the rights to Bethesda, who started their own Fallout project in 2004, and it was Fallout 3. So Chris, what was your first experience with Fallout 3? How did you find it? How did you come across it? What did you think of it?
Well, I first came across it. My younger sister, she was playing it, and sort of I was just
awesome
passing through the house. Yeah, I was just passing through the house, and it got like entrapped in it, and it's like, ooh, what are you playing? So I waited till she went to bed, put it on my PlayStation, started playing that instead.
Nice. How did you find that first moment when you leave the vault?
I did. It's compared to actually being in the vault, because I didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
So when you come out, everything's blurry. There's this big, like, desolate landscape.
Huge wasteland. Yeah.
You can see like a city kind of in the distance, and you're kind of drawn to that because that is the first place you got to go, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Nuketown, isn't it?
It might be. Nuketown's one of the first. I don't know if it is the first, but it's one of. I think the first one I ended up in was the one with the ants. The ant place. There's like a little town full of fire ants. I think I ended up there first. But it's one of the wonderful things that Bethesda has done with their games. They've done it with the Elder Scrolls series over time, and they've kind of perfected it now, where anywhere you are in Fallout 3, or in any of the Fallout games, anywhere you are in the wasteland, you can look around and you will find a landmark. Anywhere. Anytime you're outside, if you look around, you will see a town, a city, somewhere to go. And I think that's a great design. That's great design and planning on Bethesda's part. Like you said, you leave the vault and immediately you're like, there's a town I can go to. Or there's several towns I can go to. Wherever you look, you will always find somewhere to go. You're never really without story or without somewhere to go in the Fallout games, which I think is great.
It's easy to get lost though not like
lost,
but like
yeah,
kind of like lost in your mind because you're just like exploring. It's like, oh, this is new. I haven't been here. Open the map, realize that you're not even a quarter way across the map. You're like, wow, there's this massive expanse of land that I can go to. What's out there?
Absolutely.
And then you go too far at too low level and get murdered by a death claw.
Yeah, Deathclaws are... Deathclaws were always an issue. They were an issue in Fallout 1 and 2, but they are certainly an issue in more recent Fallout games. So I should probably say Fallout 3 is the first one that became first-person perspective. It's 3D first-person perspective, much like the Elder Scrolls series, also made by Bethesda. I think they run on the same engine. And we get VATS. I think you're right. We get VATS in first person. So the game's real-time... until you use VATS. And then time stops at this point. It slows in some of them, but I think it pretty much stops here. And it allows you to select body parts.
Fallout 3, I think it still slows down, but like a lot, because there's still sort of movement. They can still fire at you.
Maybe there is still movement.
Maybe I'm just remembering Fallout 4, but I'm pretty sure it's in Fallout 3 as well.
You may be right. I haven't played Fallout 3 for a long time. So, what did you think of VATS the first time you got it? The first time you started using it?
Uh, this this is amazing because obviously the iron sights on most of the guns are a bit crap.
Especially in Fallout 3. Fallout 3's gun mechanics are not great.
Yeah, so it's like I can slow it down and aim at their head. This is brilliant. And
Yeah,
if I
because
miss, I can run away.
absolutely, because there were no iron sights in Fallout 3 either. That was pre-iron sights.
Oh,
Yeah, we got iron sights Fallout Vegas onwards, from what I remember anyway.
right.
There may be mods though. This is the great thing about Fallout games and Bethesda games. They
Oh,
do
but I
they
think
don't
you're
mind
right.
their mods.
It just zooms in on like the circle,
Yeah,
doesn't
it zooms in a little, but it doesn't do iron
Yeah.
sights. But yeah, what did you think of VATS, man? It's just like I think it was so much fun in Fallout 1 and 2 when you select a body part and they kind of react in different ways. But when you see it in 3D, it's so much more funny.
It is. It was very, very good. It's very good idea, and it's carried on, got better, which is good.
They've definitely improved it. I agree.
I did like that if you did like aim at their legs, it would slow them down, or
Yep.
you had the chance of blowing their arm off or something like that. It was ridiculous, but it's an amazing feature.
It is. You can make them drop weapons as well if you hit them in the arm, things like that. It's a really fun system, and it's really good because VATS was such a core mechanic of Fallout 1 and 2. When Fallout 3 was shown, I was like, how are you going to do VATS, though? Because it's kind of key. It was a key element of the game, and it'd be really weird, and I don't think you're going to manage to pull this off in first person. But they did, and it works really well. It's really good fun. So, Fallout 3, you're in the capital wasteland, and it takes place in 2277, and you're a member of Vault 101, and you have to venture out into the capital wasteland to find your father after he disappears from your vault mysteriously. How did you find the story of Fallout 3?
I didn't quite like the ending, but the actual story itself.
Dude, thank you. I hate the fucking ending of Fallout 3. It's
the
terrible.
ending, because I finished it before I got the DLCs.
Yeah, so did
And
I.
so when you finished it, you couldn't free roam. That was it. It's just the end of the game. You have to start again. I'm like, come on, let me free roam. Let me go do stuff.
Yeah, like that was a big no-no. Because it's like, no, I still want to continue. This is silly. I also had a problem. I don't know about you, but I had an issue where at the end of the game, you have a room that you need to go in to flip a switch. And the room is flooded with radiation. So basically the idea is that anyone that goes in there is going to die. And you can choose to either go yourself and die, self-sacrifice, or send someone else in. And you've got a member of the Brotherhood of Steel there. She's willing to go in. And you've also got your AI companions if you've brought them along. Now, I had a massive problem with the ending of Fallout 3 because I had Hawks as my AI partner. I don't know if you remember Hawks, but he's a super mutant. And super mutants are immune to radiation. So I got to the end of Fallout 3 and they were like, we need to go in there, but it's flooded with radiation. Someone's going to have to sacrifice themselves. I was like, well, don't worry, because my super mutant friend is literally immune. And I asked him to go in and he was just like, nah, this is up to you. And I was like, wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'd obviously, and they may have fixed it later, but when I played it, they obviously hadn't planned or thought through the fact that you'd have a super mutant who's immune to radiation at the end of the game, and they obviously rushed through this line where it's like, this is your fight, I'm not gonna get in. It's like, no, come on, like one of us is literally gonna die if we go in there. You can just walk in there and do this and everyone's fine. It really bugged me. It really bugged me. And I'm guessing it would be the same if you had a robot as well, because you can have robot companions. But yeah, I wasn't happy with the ending. But you're right. The DLC then added the free play afterwards, didn't it? So you could keep playing.
What were there? There was Anchorage, and there was another one, wasn't there?
Yeah, I can't remember. I get them confused with the New Vegas ones, to be honest.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure Anchorage was Fallout 3.
Anchorage was Fallout 3, I think. I can't remember
Yeah,
what the other
that was
one
a good one. The other one, I might. One of them's on like this deserted island with like a fairground, but now I'm thinking of it, that might be New Vegas.
Yeah, I think that might be New Vegas. I get confused, but the
Yeah.
DLC was good. It was good for Fallout 3, and it was really nice that we could continue the story after we finished the main campaign. Because if you rush through the main campaign, like you might rush through the main campaign thinking, well, I can do all this other stuff afterwards, and it's like, nope, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always took my time and did loads and loads of side quests.
I always do with RPGs. I get distracted. It takes me forever.
Yeah. Straight right off the bat, the first quest, go here. It's like, but there's stuff that way. Right off the bat, as soon as I'm out of the like training area or the vault or whatever, I'm just straight on a different path. Like, no, see you later.
Yeah. Is there any missions that you particularly fondly remember from Fallout 3, or is it all blurred at this point?
The same with every Fallout game. I like doing the Brotherhood of Steel missions.
Oh, you're Brotherhood of Steel, are you? I was going to ask you what sort of faction you went with. So Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah,
nice.
I always go Brotherhood of Steel, mainly because they give you power armor. I'm just like, hell yeah.
Yeah. The power armor is good fun. They're not nice people, though. This is the great thing about Fallout. No one's really nice in Fallout. Like everyone. I mean, you get like the odd village that's quite nice, but there's just corruption everywhere, and no one. It's a lot of grey areas with the Fallout games, which I really like. And I guess that takes us nicely, actually, onto Fallout New Vegas from 2010, which basically they ended up. Bethesda ended up giving the game to someone else to develop while they were developing. What would they have been developing? Skyrim, maybe, or maybe even Fallout
Skyrim.
4. I think it was probably Skyrim. So they gave it out to another company, and that company happened to have an awful lot of the people who worked on the original Fallout games. So I love New Vegas. I think personally, in terms of the 3D Fallout games, it's my favorite. Basically, you play as a courier, and you're in.
Get shot in the head.
Yes, you're in Vegas, and you get shot in the head by a complete bastard, and then you wake up. You're kind of left for dead, and you wake up, and then you basically go on a revenge. Is all it is. You want to find the guy who killed you. You want to find out why he tried to kill you, and it kind of takes you across the wasteland and through New Vegas. I think the story to New Vegas is probably my favorite of the 3D Fallout games.
Yeah, definitely.
The factions are awesome. Like, none of them are nice. They've all got issues. When you first meet Caesar's Legion, you're like, oh my god, these people are barbaric. They're awful. But then as you continue through that first town,
the first time where you meet them and you go down this street with people just on pikes
yeah, and the whole place is on fire, and they're doing that lottery. They do the lottery where they're like, if you win the lottery, you live, but everyone else dies. Yeah, they're awful. But then as you play through the game and you meet Caesar, you're like, you're awful, but you do kind of have some reasonable ideas. And then you meet like Mr. House and the Brotherhood of Steel and the Gunners, and they're all awful, all of them. And I really love that grey area, you know?
It is one of the best things I think they put in is the weapon mods.
Yes.
That's a game changer.
Yeah.
Weapon mods, scopes, you can upgrade like you can upgrade the barrel stock, put scopes on it. That was a real game changer because I always
they really push that in
Fallout 3. I always used to try and rush to find the sniper rifle.
Yeah, I do as well. I was always with the sniper rifle. Yeah.
Yeah, so in New Vegas, when you could get the hunting rifle, which was easier to find and easier to find ammo,
and then upgrade
instead of the 303 rounds. Yeah, put a scope on that. That was amazing. Hunting rifle with a scope is my go-to.
Yeah, the hunting rifle is really effective. I was replaying New Vegas on the Icons page a couple of months back, and that hunting rifle was really useful, really, really good, especially early on, like you said.
It's so easy to find the rounds for it, more than the what's the sniper rifle rounds? The 308?
308, isn't it? Which is it's a lot harder to find.
They're a bastard to find.
So I don't think I even need to ask you this then, I guess. But in New Vegas, obviously we have Mr. House, who's running New Vegas. He has a plan. You have Caesar's Legion, you have the Brotherhood of Steel, and you have the Gunners. I think those are the main factions that I can think of. I guess I don't even need to ask, but which faction did you choose, Chris?
My first playthrough, the Gunners.
I thought you were going to say Brotherhood. I thought you were Brotherhood.
I found that on my first playthrough, I found the Gunners before I found the Brotherhood. So
okay,
I didn't
enough.
know they were in the game. Because I was like, I
Gunners
haven't found the Brotherhood of Steel yet.
The Gunners were hard to get to because they bomb you,
that
don't
airfield.
they? Yeah, when trying to get through that airfield, if you don't know where to go.
Took me a few times.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough. But great fun. Great fun. So that's interesting. You went with the Gunners. I went with Mr. House the first time. But there really is no good ending to New Vegas, I don't think. Like, whichever one you choose, there's a downside to all of them, to each of them. My first playthrough, I kind of buggered things up because, the guy who guns you down, you're meant to go find him and talk to him. I didn't talk to him. As soon as I saw him in the bar, I just started shooting at him and I killed him. Because I was like, I wanted revenge. I just walked in, I just shot the whole place up. I was dead. So then my second playthrough, I talked to him and realised there was kind of more to that story. But yeah, I just killed him the first time. I love that these games allow us to do these things. You can just kill people that you shouldn't kill. Just kill them. It's fine. And the game will continue on,
There is one side quest that always sticks out in my mind that I always remember. Helping those ghouls get into space.
Yes. Oh man, that's really good. I forgot. Dude, I forgot
that
about that
one. Out in my mind for some reason.
That is a really good mission. Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
It's quite funny.
It's quite a long mission as well, isn't it? Because you need to repair it and then do all the launch stuff. And yeah, that's really good fun, that mission. I forgot about that.
Because it's quite near that like motel with the giant T-Rex, isn't it?
Oh, I meant to ask you actually, just briefly. Fallout 3, did you nuke Megaton or not?
Yeah, of course I did.
Good. I nuked it and then felt
Megaton,
bad.
that's it. I called it Nuketown. I was thinking of Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, Nuketown is Call of Duty. Yeah. So yeah, New Vegas was awesome. The only problem I've really got with New Vegas is the assassins. The assassins are so annoying. They annoyed me back when I played it through before, as when it came out, and they really annoy me now. I was replaying it a couple of months back, and the assassins are awful. You meet like if you kill enough people in a faction, they become they send assassins after you, which is cool. But I found that because I always annoyed Caesar's Legion because I hate them, so I just kill them, and then they send the assassins, and those assassins, I swear, it's the same 5 guys. And you meet those 5 guys, and you shoot them all, kill all of them, and then I would walk, it felt like a couple of meters down the road, and the assassins would spawn again, the exact same guys, the exact same conversation, assault again, kill again, and they just kept coming back, and kept coming back, and kept coming back. Really annoying. I actually found a mod this time that disables them, so they just don't show up. And that made it a lot more fun.
I just put a load of points in charisma, and you could talk your way out of it.
I don't want charisma. I just want to go shoot things. But yeah, I think New Vegas, for me, the most fun I've had in 3D Fallout games. Have you got anything more to say about New Vegas? Any more thoughts on New Vegas?
I don't know. It's I will agree with you. It's my favourite as well.
Is it? Nice.
Fallout 4 it's decent. It's a bit longer, but the campaign's not as good. Definitely campaign-wise, and first introducing all the mods for the guns and more factions. It was definitely the best one so far.
Yeah, they definitely got the best factions, for sure. A lot of those factions actually were planned for the original Fallout 3, for Van Buren. So they brought those factions over, like Caesar's Legion featured heavily in the unmade Fallout 3. So it's really great that those people managed to see those characters brought into their game. So that does move us on to Fallout 4. And what did you think of Fallout 4? 2015. So you'd played Fallout 3 and New Vegas by this point, right?
Yeah, I had. I was fully invested in the Fallout series.
And what did you think of Fallout 4?
Campaign-wise, story-wise, not the best. I mean, yeah, you wake up.
I agree.
Well, when you get to the vault, you wake up with someone that shot your wife and stolen your kid.
Yep.
But your character never seems like fully actually invested in finding it. I don't know, it's the way they've done the voice acting and the dialogue.
I will be honest with you,
feel like
I wasn't invested in finding my kid one bit. I just went off and did loads of other things. But no, you're right, the character is, he's not voiced amazingly well. I did like the opening. I like that it started pre-war. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was quite nice.
But yeah, so you're looking for your son in this one, and you've been in like suspended animation, so you come out and you've got to find your son. It's kind of, I thought it was kind of obvious what has happened to your son. When I left the vault, I was like, he's probably older. You know, that was kind of my first thought, was like, he's probably older. But the gun mechanics are better. Definitely. It's a definite improvement in terms of the gun mechanics. It feels more like you can play the game without VATS, and it kind of works perfectly fine.
There's more variety in weapons as well.
There's more variety.
Nice.
The modifications are taken to another level. You can do a lot more modifications to your weapons. Which is
name them as well.
You can name them, which is actually more useful than you'd think, to be honest. I found naming them quite useful when you're carrying loads of weapons.
Yeah.
But I guess the biggest change with this one is that you have a base now. You can craft and build bases. How did you find the base building element of Fallout 4?
Well, when I first found out that you could make a base, I made it at Sanctuary, not the Red Rocket.
I think everyone did. Because you're
I
kind
made
of
it at Sanctuary.
Yeah.
And then when I realised that you could actually make stuff, I made this massive gallery and went and found every single bit of power armor there was there and like displayed them in this massive cupboard all lit up.
Nice. I always used to use the drive-in. That was my favorite place to build a base because it's massive and flat and open.
Is that the rocket? No, rocket's the gas station.
The Red Rocket gas station is my favorite for like if I'm just gonna keep a little base for myself. But if you're doing the community thing, I found the drive-in theater is my favorite because you can get to it early on and you can build loads there. There's a way you could glitch the game into making more than you're allowed because there's that allowance as well. What are you trying to think?
I'm trying to think of where the drive-in theater is, and I can't place it.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell you without looking at a map. But if you're playing Fallout 4, you'll find it. It is there. There's a drive-in, and you can build on it. And basically, yeah, it's huge because it's a big flat area for the drive-in. So that's where I always used to build my base.
I did.
You did?
I did find a good place to defend once you've done the Minutemen campaigns is the castle.
Yeah, the castle's great.
Or the fortress kind of thing.
Yeah,
as long as you put loads of defenses on that big hole in the wall, nothing's coming in.
Yeah. Because you're really well defended there. I fucking hated the Minutemen. Hate them. Can't stand them. And I hate that guy. And I hated every time. The thing that annoyed me about Fallout 4 is I kept getting called back to the base, and I kept getting called by the Minutemen to go help the Minutemen. And it's like, oh, just leave me alone. It's like, this settlement's under attack. It's like, well, just deal with it, guys. I'm trying to find my son. Go away.
I ended up killing them all.
The Minutemen?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I don't know why I didn't think of doing that. I killed my son. Did you kill your son?
I
shot him on the rooftop. When he tells you the plan on the rooftop, I was like,
I went down into their big underground utopia kind of place.
Yeah, that's where I went.
I was figuring out what's going on and what I should do. So I haven't killed him yet on this playthrough.
Oh, okay. I killed him and had to get out of that place. I ruined all plans because then the railway are angry at you for not following through with their plans, and I kind of annoyed everyone with my Fallout 4 playthrough. So I should probably go back and play that game, actually. It's a shame you can't do co-op. That would be fun.
That would be fun. There is an online thing, isn't there?
For Fallout 4? Maybe
I'm pretty sure there's a multiplayer option.
There may well be. Maybe I need to go back and look at that. But
we need to find out if that's cross-platform.
Oh, if it's cross-platform, I'm all over that, dude. I'm well up for playing.
We're going to cause some mayhem in the wasteland.
In fact, we've still got some Minecraft stuff that I need to edit together. We've still got some Minecraft episodes to come out yet.
Well, I haven't been recording at all this week. So.
Well, understandably so. Yeah. But yeah, so what did you think of Fallout 4 overall?
Gameplay wise, amazing. Story wise, not as good as New Vegas, but still a step up in the graphics. The gun
the graphics
mechanics
were good. And you're right. The mechanics of the guns and the gameplay itself is superb. It's all the other.
I do like the skill menu as well. That was much better. It's much more descriptive on what your points would go on, and there's a more selection of what you can do.
Yeah, and I really love the animations for each of the perks as you go down the list. I think is really cool.
Oh yeah, the animations were good. That was another. Oh, am I still muted?
No, you're not muted.
Oh,
you're here.
Sorry, it said still muted on my microphone.
Oh no, it does that. It does that with mine as well. It says that I'm muted for like way longer than I am. But no, you're not muted. Yeah, the animations were really cool for each perk. I really like that. Or each skill, sorry.
I think the VATS, the effects in the VATS, say if you got a critical shot and their head would actually just explode into a million pieces.
It's really satisfying.
That was quite fun.
It's really satisfying. That Deathclaw.
You can get more companions as well. There's a bigger selection of companions.
What companions did you go with in the end, generally?
To start off with, obviously, dog meat. Mm-hmm. Everyone does.
Of course.
I had Strong, the super mutant, for a bit.
Yep, he's good.
And then, what was it? I think Paladin Dance.
Oh yeah,
Brotherhood of Steel.
Yeah, I annoyed the Brotherhood of Steel, so I wasn't. I annoyed
everything.
I annoyed everyone in Fallout 4. Yeah, the Brotherhood weren't happy with me. It has got to be done.
Annoy everyone.
I enjoyed messing around with is it Nick, whatever his name is, the synth detective. I thought he was really fun. I played with him for a while.
He was quite cool.
I just kind of liked his whole shtick. I thought was quite cool and entertaining.
I will say one of the most annoying enemies has to be the synth, because they take so much damage, but they also deal a fuckload.
The synths that you find out in the wasteland, I thought they're quite fun to take down, but those higher level synths are a real pain.
Yeah, they just tank loads of damage, and they can also like shell it out as well. And it's like,
especially when ammo.
Yeah,
ammo's an issue for sure. What did you think? That moment when you get that first Deathclaw encounter in that town terrified me. I was like, no, this just horrendous.
It would have been a lot scarier
if you didn't
had you not had power armor and a minigun.
Yeah, I love the power armor animations and mechanics. That's one thing they really improved in Fallout 4.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I know it's like just Iron Man ripoff, but it's so much cooler than in Fallout 3 when you just put it on. I love that, and I like that it just stays on the map. You can kind of get out of it and just leave it there and come back to it later. And
one thing that was a bit annoying is power core. Getting them.
I didn't mind that because I think they are kind of overpowered if you don't have something to limit them.
Early on in the game, they're hard to find.
Yeah,
but
later
at
on
the end of the game, I had hundreds of them. Just the same as caps. Like when I got to the end of the game, nothing was an issue because I had something like 500,000 caps. Or something
you just got
like that.
all the caps in the world. Because it's a Bethesda game, and like with all Bethesda games, the goal, as far as I'm concerned, of every 3D Bethesda game, be it the Elder Scrolls series or be it the Fallout series, is to steal everything you find and then sell it.
And make sure you're overpowered by the end of the game, so you're a god.
Oh yeah, that's key. Being
become
a god of the wasteland.
Hoard all the items.
Yeah. I could have done without the settlements, if I'm honest, with Fallout 4. I think that was the biggest bane, was like, build this and then go and protect this settlement. I know a lot of people like it. For me, I was just like, I would have liked it to have been an option, but I didn't want to have to keep going back and dealing with it,
I treated building the settlements and stuff like that kind of like a mini game. Say if I've been playing for hours, I'm like, I need a break. Just relax a bit. I'll go and build some stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. So
I like the farming.
The farming is quite actually
Just
the farming
planting
is
stuff
quite
and
the farming is quite fun. I think it's just done better in other games like base building and stuff. It kind of felt a bit tacked on for me.
Yeah.
But so what were your
Well,
overall thoughts?
as you know from other games, like Minecraft, I enjoy my farming.
Oh, I know you do.
Do it in,
You're
do it
very
in
good
Fallout
at
as
it.
well.
You're very good at it too. We've still
It's
got
just
we've still got a
therapeutic and
dragon to
satisfying.
kill in Minecraft.
Yeah, we do.
We got to get back
That's
to
gonna
that
be
at some
interesting.
point. Maybe next weekend
Yeah.
we should set aside some time.
Yeah, I've got I'm doing some joint recording with John next weekend. But
Oh,
I
nice.
can
Well,
find
if you're free, if not, we'll do the weekend after, whenever. But at some point, we've got to kill that dragon. So
yeah.
we got to get
Oh
on
no,
that.
it won't take up the whole day. So I'll have some Minecraft time.
Cool,
See
man.
if we can get John on as well because he's got it on PS4.
Great, that'd be good. We can team up and take it down together. So, what were your overall thoughts of Fallout 4?
Definitely would recommend it. It's a great game.
It is.
But if you're looking for more of a storyline, go New Vegas all the way.
Definitely. So this is where, unfortunately, I finished with the Fallout series. I did play, what's it called? Shelter on my Android for a while.
On the mobile.
Messed around with that. That was good fun.
Awesome.
It's quite fun.
That's a fun game.
It's a fun little game. But I've not played the online Fallout game 76. So you've played it, right?
I got it on release.
Oh dear.
And I had high hopes. They were not met, unfortunately.
I've heard that. I heard terrible things. So what was wrong?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's amazing. Like all the graphics are so much better than the rest of the Fallout games.
Oh, that's good. Didn't they remove all like NPCs from the game or something stupid like that? That's awful.
Well, not all of them, just quite a few.
Right.
It took me a good about 4 hours before I could find another quest.
What?
It was just
That's crazy.
There's not much to do, and they advertised it as like there's gonna be loads of people you can meet.
I remember the pitch was. I remember Todd doing his pitch, and it was amazing. It was like, whoa, this sounds really good.
I played for a total of about 50 hours, saw one other player. That was it.
Wow, on release.
Yep.
Jeez, that's terrible. So I know they've brought NPCs back now, haven't they? With recent patch, or they were planning to. I saw. Have you played it?
Bad that I actually
just given
sold
up
the game. I'm not going to sell games. I sold it.
Wow. I think your experience pretty much echoes most of the experiences I've heard. That's a real shame because that could have really been something, you know.
It could have, because Bethesda did so well with Elder Scrolls Online. That game is a masterpiece.
Elder Scrolls Online had a little bit of a rocky start, but nowhere near like Vegas. Nowhere near like 76. And Elder Scrolls Online is amazing now. It's a really good game. Probably one of the best online games, I think, right now.
Yeah, me and my mate used to overplay it a lot. I think I'm like champion rank 500 and something.
Nice. I keep meaning to get onto Elder Scrolls Online and start again. Just, start fresh.
Do it.
Because it is really good.
I've got a friend that's been playing 76 lately.
Right.
And he's having an amazing time with it. He's been finding people to interact with. I think they've added some more NPCs, so he's finding like more missions and stuff. So by the sounds of it, they have added a lot more to it, but it was just
too little too late.
Shattered for me when I tried it. Yeah.
Once you've got that kind of bitter taste in your mouth over a game, it's difficult to go back and try again. It's just like, no, it's over. It's done, you know.
I might try play it again because it's probably a lot cheaper now.
Oh, I'm sure you can get it cheap.
I had the what was it called? It was a special edition one on release. Cost me like 60 quid, and I was just absolutely destroyed when I played it.
It's so annoying, especially when you've made an investment. 60 quid is a lot of money, you know. To get and then get a game that's just rubbish, because like you're buying a game like 76, you're expecting to play that for like hours and hours and hours and hours and get like 50, 100, 200 hours out of a game, and then it's just awful. That's horrible. That's not what it should be, you know. It's not how it should be. So I guess, where do you rank your favorite Fallout games? You know, what's it?
New Vegas.
Okay, that's at the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't separate 3 and 4. So it's New Vegas and then 3 and 4. It's
Okay.
they're together. I can't.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fallout 3 for the gameplay, like the storyline, but Fallout 4 for how much they've added to it. So I can't separate them two really.
Fair enough. Personally, I'd say Fallout 2, Fallout 1, Fallout New Vegas, and then I'd probably, Brotherhood of Steel aside, I'd probably agree with you then. 3 and 4. I think 3. I want to say that I prefer Fallout 3 to Fallout 4, but the only caveat to that is that I think I prefer it in my mind, but I feel like if I went back and played Fallout 3 today, it would have dated horribly, and I wouldn't feel that way.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Because those gun mechanics would really annoy me going back to that now. So I think Fallout 4 might be,
Fallout 3, it's definitely, I got better memories of it, but Fallout 4 is more replayable.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an odd one. It's hard to
it's tough
between them, really.
It's really tough. So I think that's the, as far as I know, that's all the Fallout games certainly that I've played. Have you got any other thoughts on the series? Any hopes for the future? What do you hope for from a new Fallout game? Fallout 5, if it's coming out, it is coming out. Let's be honest, at some point. What do you want from it? What would you want from Fallout 5?
Obviously the graphics are going to be a hell of a lot better, especially with new consoles coming out, like the PS5 and Xbox, whatever it is.
It's all about that ray tracing.
But from a new Fallout game, I would like a more in-depth, longer storyline.
Yeah.
Something that you can relate to, not the baby that looks like a doll that you're not really interested in.
Yeah.
I'd like add a few more weapons, or do something different, because we've always had the laser rifles and the hunting rifles. Add more variants,
sure.
I don't know, just add a bit more. Keep the mods in. Don't focus too heavily on the settlement building.
Yeah.
And I would say longer quest lines for some of the factions, because I found
Definitely.
the Brotherhood of Steel quest line for Fallout 4 wasn't too long, to be fair.
No, it's not very long, is it? Yeah, I agree.
What would you add to it?
I don't know. Part of me thinks, and I don't know, because I wonder whether I worry that it might make it not Fallout enough. But I'd kind of be interested to see Fallout UK or Fallout China, see one of the other countries and see what kind of state they're in, and maybe what style or kind of future vision those countries had before the nukes fell.
I think why they haven't done that yet is obviously all the weapons. It's easier to explain in America. In England, you'd have a few farmers' shotguns, and in the cities you might have
it's in the
police.
It's in the future. There could have been more, or China, because I think in the game, isn't it a war between China and the US anyway? That kind of starts the whole thing.
I believe so.
I think.
I'm not entirely sure.
So that'd be kind of interesting. See the other side. But no, I agree with you generally. I would definitely ditch the settlement thing, or at least just make it an option that I can choose to do, but don't force me down that path, because I don't want to. The last thing I want from an open world RPG is to be forced down paths. You have to go do this. You have to go do. It's no, I don't want to. I will pick and choose the missions and quests that I want to do and the tasks I want to do. But yeah, I hope they improve the story. Think back to New Vegas. Look at that kind of grey area storytelling. Those difficult choices, and that's where I want to be. And yeah, like you said, the graphics will be better anyway. Gun mechanics can always improve. That'd be nice.
And if they're going to do a multiplayer again. Don't make it totally online.
I'd make it co-op. That's what I would do. I would have it co-op, because co-op would be really fun. Playing a new Fallout game that has optional co-op would be great. Don't force me to run around with an AI co-op. I don't want any of that. But if my friend's available or a couple of friends are available, I want to be able to jump in with them. That would be fun. You know, like the Far Cry
great.
games. I was playing Far Cry 5 last weekend with my friend, and that's great. You can just jump into someone's game and just be like, here I am, you know, and you share the experience and you share, you know, good fun. That kind of stuff I think works really well. So I'd like to see some co-op.
They do that well on Borderlands as well.
Borderlands is great for that. Yeah, Borderlands is really great for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like that I think would be nice. But just go back to that kind of storytelling from Vegas, but keep the improvements from Fallout 4. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, I agree. You rounded it up better than I rambled on about it.
No, not at all, man. I think you hit the nail on the head. And you know you're ill as well, still ill. So I appreciate you coming on and doing the show, man. It's as always.
That's all right. I didn't want to put it off any longer.
Oh, that's all right, man. It's all good. But yeah, so I think that's about it. What should we do next time, Chris? Do you want to have a think, or have you got any ideas for a new topic?
I haven't got any ideas off the top of my head.
Okay, we'll have a think. So you've got a new episode of Chong Games, or the Chongcast coming out this week, is it? I guess you're recording today for this week.
Yeah, we're gonna record about midday today-ish. So I don't know if it'd be out before this. Probably, because you do more editing. We just put a picture up.
It'll be out. This will be out tomorrow at 6.
Awesome.
So yeah. I've got all the podcasts this weekend. I recorded a podcast yesterday, podcast today, and a podcast tomorrow. So it's a busy, talky weekend for me. And
I've got one today.
Nice.
I haven't obviously because I haven't been recording, but John's been uploading stuff. So whenever I see the video, all I do is I just make the thumbnail and put that up, which is good because it means I can lie in bed.
So is this your Doom chat today?
I think we are going to go with just shooters in general.
That's a good topic.
So we're not, because none of us have done that much research because we kept putting it off. So we're just going to do shooters in general.
You could be there forever talking about shooters.
We could, yes.
This could be a long podcast for you, but good fun. Well, in any case, everybody, thank you for listening. We will be back in 2 weeks' time with a new topic. Not sure what it'll be yet, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Chris, take care and rest up, and we'll meet again in Minecraft, and obviously we'll be back with the Icons of Sin in a fortnight. Until then, take care, and thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys. Bye.